Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play. And today we're actually kicking things off at Elite Zoo North. There's just a little bit of work to do at Elite Zoo North because many of you pointed out in the comments of the last session that we do in fact have at least one more animal that fits the bill for the currently ongoing community challenge. And as I've said countless times in the past, that when the opportunity comes to get involved in one of those community challenges with our franchise zoos, I would love to be a part of it. We already got, involved to a degree last session with our, I believe our gharial and our saltwater crocodiles were the only ones that we were able to contribute. However, at Elite Zoo North, we do have flamingos. We might even have more quote unquote spare, not the right word, but you know what I mean. Extra, I guess, saltwater crocodiles and gharial as well, though that's less likely. I feel like we have a ton of flamingos that we can definitely, sort of release to the wild to help contribute to this community challenge. I believe we're at 90% of the way there, so we're very close. There's just 2 days left at the time of this recording, which means that we should be able to hit that goal. And if we do, hopefully some of the animals that we unlock will be viable, gold-rated, high-quality animals for inclusion at Elite Zoo South, or they'll be some of the new DLC animals, though they probably wouldn't do that so soon after the DLC releases. I'm just trying to sort of thinking out loud over here because, what if some people don't have the DLC? What would they get as a reward instead? Actually, now that I think about it, have the rewards ever been any of the DLC animals? I don't think so. I think it's always been base game animals, and I can't remember for the life of me. Now, again, I haven't been able to contribute to every community challenge, but the ones I've won, the rewards have always been base game animals. Nonetheless, point being, there is a massive number of Southern Hemisphere animals that we are yet to add to Elite Zoo South, and hopefully one of those will be involved in the rewarding process. So yeah, we're not going to spend too long at Elite Zoo North. We'll go ahead and release some flamingos to the wild, add to our contribution, and then we're going to head, I do want to check how Elite Zoo North runs. I recently upgraded my hardware, and I want to see if Elite Zoo North now is less laggy, especially because we will be adding more animals to Elite Zoo North in this season, thanks to that new DLC. There are a couple of Northern Hemisphere animals we have to include. So I will be checking that. That'll be like a minute at most. We'll probably find our answer really quickly. But beyond that as well, after that, we will be going back down to Elite Zoo South, where we will be having another time lapse before we dive into more management action. You know what? Even while paused, this pace of movement is not very promising as far as frame rates are concerned. It's going to be interesting figuring out what to do about all those new Northern Hemisphere animals. But that is a topic for a little bit later. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got over here at Flamingo Park. Again, those of you that are unfamiliar with Elite Zoo North, this is our walkthrough enclosure for the flamingos, and it proved to be quite the challenge, as even though it says that flamingos are confident with humans, well, you can guess what the second half of that statement is. Are they all like in boxes over here? Looks like they're all in boxes over here. Is not a single one of them out and about? I think they are all in here. Okay, fair enough. Well, just before I release them all, I want to touch on, looks like Rehan over here is about to mature as well. I just want to touch on the greater flamingo and the fact that they are indeed, yes, aquatic or, semi-aquatic. And just as a reminder, the community challenge that I was talking about is this one over here, to which we've already released, or for which we've already released 7 animals. 60,000 silver-rated semi-aquatic animals is what's required, released to the wild. We're close, 91% actually. Between when I started the game up and us loading into Elite Zoo North, it already went up by 1%. So that's good. And our contribution is still among the sort of top percentile. So again, folks, if you have any of these animals to contribute to the challenge, don't hesitate to do so. It'd be really cool to see us, actually accomplish this together as a community, and then reap the rewards, reap the benefits. But we're going to make our own addition to the contribution right now. Again, sorry, just as a reminder for myself, I believe we are at 7, right? I believe we gave in 7 so far. Let's go ahead and add to that number. Going to unpause here real quick. These guys can unbox. Yeah, you can see. there's ever a sight that has made me very uncomfortable. That's terrifying. They look like a flower, like a really like a like a Lovecraftian flower, you know. There we go. A little bit of body horror going on over here. Well, that's terrifying. Oh, that's like this is like nightmare fuel. I apologize for anybody who I'm providing nightmare fuel to, but I'm a little enraptured over here by just how how concerning this looks. Look at their eyes. There's so many eyes. Oh, actually, you know what? This okay. It's making me really uncomfortable, but and at the same time, so like compelled. I'm actually a big fan of like Lovecraftian horror and like cosmic horror and stuff like that. And this is seriously straight out like oh my god. Okay, all right, I'm done. I'm done admiring this monstrosity. Quite a few flamingos over here. Quite a few flamingos. Hopefully most, if not all of them, are silver rated or above. I don't know though. Not 100% sure. We have a lot of adults though. All right, you know what? It'll be a lot easier, I think, if it works the way I think it does, to go over here. And oh, I guess not. Oh no, yeah, we can see the rating over here. I was expecting to see it next to their icon over here. Flamingo. Is it greater flamingo or something? Yeah, greater flamingo. Greater flamingo. There we go. Yeah, not all of them are silver or above, but quite a few of them are. Let's go by maturity here. Are they all old enough? No, they're not all old enough. Damn, these two gold rated ones are too young. But that's okay. We have quite a few options. We've got Taiba over here, and we're able to release to the wild. Cannot release. Oh no, there we go. Could not locate. It was saying it could not locate the animal. I think it's because we just popped them out of the box. Oh man, I forgot to check out the water at Elite Zoo North, and actually, so the water has been improved. Many of you have said as much and shown me examples of as much, and this actually looks quite nice. The reflections have been upgraded as well, I think. Plus, I think as my hardware upgrades, I'm like one of the upgrades is a new monitor, so everything's a little bit more vibrant and stuff for me as well. I need to color calibrate though. Definitely need to color calibrate. Anyway, back to business here. So Taiba is silver. We've got Azim, who is gold. We have Walid, who is gold as well. Again, it's silver or above, right? Lots of bronzes. Another gold, another silver. Another gold here. Another gold. More gold, more silver. We have a lot of flamingos. I'm not worried about their population dipping too low or anything like that. Go ahead and get you as well, Malik. I'm wondering if we keep a couple of silvers. Junaid is... See, what I'm thinking is... Here, we'll go ahead and get Hussein going as well. And we'll get Umaira going as well. But we will keep Farida. And we will keep Junaid. They're still young enough to have more flamingos, and we do still want to maintain our it's not a breeding program, but we do still want to maintain quality of our flamingo offspring, our flamingo offspring. And so it's not a bad idea to keep some of these gold rated flamingos for ourselves. I keep wanting to call them flamingos because of the name of the the enclosure. Flamingo is obviously what I mean to say. I think that's the right call. Keep a couple of golds around. Everybody else, silver. Yeah, let me just make sure here. Gold, silver, 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 gold, 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 silver, gold. Lots of bronzes. Gold, gold, bronze, bronze, silver. A couple golds up over here, but they're too young to be released to the wild, I assume. Right? Let's find out. Go ahead and release them to the wild. Again, it's not so much about the conservation credits. Yeah, exactly. The children cannot be released, as I figured, but it was letting me click the button, so I figured why not. All right, good stuff. Again, it's not really about the conservation credits. It's more about the, oh, look at the numbers drop over there. We have 64 animals in here. 64 animals in here. Where is, oh, right now I got to actually pick one of you out of this monstrosity. 64 animals just stacked on top of each other. Yeah, see, they're fine in terms of their adult population and stuff. All right, good stuff. But apart from the flamingos, we could also take a look at the gharial and stuff. However, I believe they are they aren't as numerous. Oh, actually, you know what? We got quite a few of you in here. all on contraceptives. All right, let's see. Let's see. Animals. Take a look at the gharial. I think they're all related. And I think one of the things I was talking about was like we might have to come back here at a later time to work with them. Now, that's a lot of gold-rated gharial. I don't want to get rid of them all, though, is the thing. I don't want to get rid of everything. You know, I do want to hold on to some of these animals for when we do come back. Sorry, not here. Here. What's our contribution looking like? 19 animals. Wow, we're still only over here? I would totally expect to have been bumped up to here. Okay. I guess I could give one gharial away. And what about our saltwater crocs over here? Whoops. That's not a door. That's the door. We have how many saltwater crocs? Lots of little ones. Lots of little ones, only 2 adults? Looks like it, yeah. And contraceptives to prevent more babies. All right. So back to our gharial over here. Who is the lucky one that gets to release to the wild? 3 females, 4 females. Perhaps one of the elder females, Anushka over here. Oh, they're all stacked, aren't they? Go back here, gotta go back here, gotta go back here. gharial, there you are. Anushka is gold rated, 18.1 years old. This takes us to a nice round. 20 animals contributed. That's why I'm kind of thinking this is the way to go. Yeah, sure. Sure. Release to the wild. Not bad. I mean, again, these guys do need help with their conservation and whatnot, so a little bit of conservation credits there as well. Take a look now. 20. Still only over here. But I think that's all the options we have. I mean, again, I could get rid of more of the gharial, but I don't know. I'd like to keep some of them. They're all gold rated. There's a lot of trading opportunities and stuff like that. As far as the polar bears are concerned, I don't think we have too many of them. In fact, we need to get a male polar bear over here because our adorable female polar bear is all on her lonesome. But again, that's something we'll concern ourselves with when we come back to add some of those aquatic DLC animals, because when we're doing that, we will have to manage Elite Zoo North a little bit when we're doing that work. So that's when I intend to clean up the gharial and the polar bears as well. It'll be interesting to come back over here, though. It'll be interesting to come back over here. Also, just like to point out, there are some empty spaces for North American, like in our North America section. There are some empty spaces that we can use for the North American additions. Now, I'm going to go ahead and unpause just for a little bit over here so we can kind of see. Yeah, like we're definitely dropping below 30 frames. Definitely. It's better than it used to be, I think. But like it's not perfect. It's not like Elite Zoo South where things are super smooth. But it would be probably good enough for us to, again, when it's paused, the frame rate is perfectly smooth. When it's paused, everything's perfectly fine. So it'll be good enough for us to get the time lapses in to actually develop the enclosures, and then we'll work around the frame rate afterwards as we add the animals in and do a little bit of management stuff. I think that'll be okay. I mean, y'all let me know down below if you're okay with that. I think we'll be fine. And again, I'm very happy to be able to point out that we do have a couple of spots, available for these new enclosures. We don't have to reinvent the wheel or start from scratch or anything like that. We have space for these animals. Man, Elite Zoo North was huge. Elite Zoo South is getting bigger and bigger. It's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. Folks, on that note, though, let's go ahead and make our way over to Elite Zoo South. We've done our work up over here. We have contributed to that challenge. I'm quite happy with our contribution. Again, hopefully we'll actually be able to hit that mark. We're still at 91% complete. So close. We're so close. Let's get her done, and then we'll see what rewards come as a result of it. All right, folks, time for a quick cut, I think, as we hop on over to Elite Zoo South. All right, back at Elite Zoo South. It is really wild to go back and forth between the two and kind of cut or fade from one to the other, whichever one I decided to do. But just to see them side by side for me is also just a wild experience. And it's pretty cool to see, or to think about in my mind's eye, the plans I have for some of the connections we're going to be making over here, for example. It's also cool to see our what I would call new and improved, transportation systems compared to Elite Zoo North. It is fun looking back at Elite Zoo North and then comparing it to Elite Zoo. Excuse me? You're not a balloon? What in what? What is what? What? where are you from? Why are you up here? Did one of the kangaroos kick you up here or something? Is it a kangaroo? I know the kangaroos have a football, right? Oh yeah, it is. It totally is one of theirs. I wonder what happened there. You know what? This guy's responsible. Look at that. Look at him pretending to be innocent. He's like, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. It couldn't have been me. I'm so tiny. That's how you know he's up to something. That's how you know it was him. Buddy, can't do that. Can't do these things. Go ahead and reset the enrichment item. Yeah, there it is, back over there. That's weird. Anyway, but yeah, it's fun sort of like seeing, like knowing what my plans are and stuff for these expansions, and like sort of being able to visualize how it's all going to come together. Because that's the thing about Elite Zoo North, is like it has all come together. All the spaces are filled up, or all the negative space, all the empty spaces have been well, even when they're empty spaces, they've had trees added to them and stuff. So you know, it's all feels pretty full and complete. Whereas Elite Zoo South, obviously, we're still working on that stuff, but I can from time to time at least see in my mind's eye what the plan is, and where we're headed, and what comes next. Now, I've actually had requests to move this into a space where people won't be walking all over it, and I don't disagree. Trying to figure out where we could put it. I suppose we could tuck it in this corner over. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, let's see if we can't tuck it in this corner over here. Kind of. Gotta lower you a little bit, buddy. Keep you on ground level. All right. Don't want to go too far that way. Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. Doesn't want to rotate this way. Okay, fair enough. Like it's got to be. There's got to be a little bit of overlap, I suppose, but I guess I prefer a little bit of overlap to everything being overlapped. I was just like not placing. Come on. I know you're gonna work. There we go. That sweet spot. Rotating it doesn't help. In fact, it breaks it. Put you down over here. Come on. Didn't think this was gonna be this much of it. There we go. Nope, that was a mistake. Usually you can tap shift to like snap it to the ground, but that time it did the exact opposite. So lesson learned, don't tap shift over here. There, pop you down over here. Move this thing, not the bush, this thing. There we go, thank you. Move that to the middle over here. So, you know, there's something to walk around and whatnot. In this donation bin, if I can select it, these bushes, their hitboxes are way too big. Way too big. I always end up picking them as opposed to the thing that's around them. Like even down over here, I'm clicking very directly on this thing, but all I'm getting is the bush up top there. Come on, give me this thing. How much closer can I get? There we go. God. And move that over to here, let's say. And it's probably not a bad idea to get another like feeding tray or something. I believe this is the feeding platform. It is indeed. We can go ahead and get another one down over here because these guys have been going hungry fairly often. So hopefully this will help alleviate that. One of the key things I want to take care of during management is our staff situation. Many of you have pointed out that seems to be the clear issue. And I also want to look into these animal talks because I've received some word with regards to them. Anyway, that's all for after the time lapse though, folks. The first thing I want to do is dive into this time lapse. It's going to be a bit of a beauty pass. We're going to be going back and forth between a couple of different zones. And yeah, just trying to like wrap up some of the loose ends, I suppose. And then I don't know if we'll do a lighting pass today as well, or if the lighting pass will have to wait until next time or the time after that or something. But you know, I wonder if I should. We're probably gonna teleport time over here. Gonna probably. Well, hopefully this doesn't break. Because a lot of the time it crashes when I. Okay, good. We're good. Go ahead and set it to noon. Noon is probably the best lighting. Straight, you know, sun's coming straight down from up top. Yeah, probably gives us the best kind of lighting across the board over here so we can work without worrying about how dark it might get. Cool. All right, folks. I think we're good to dive on in. Again, time lapse first, then we're going to dive into some management stuff. Lots of big things to do, lots of big decisions to make. Hopefully they'll help. But like I said, for now, it's time lapse time. All right, folks. Once again, a time lapse where I actually managed to accomplish pretty much everything I set out to accomplish. I mean, I guess it's easier to say that when my broad goal is make things look more complete than they were beforehand. But But still, it feels good to be able to say that I managed to accomplish that. Today we end up focusing on Darwin's Den. I mean, what you just saw me do was back at the memorial. I very quickly added some of the missing, what are they called? Like railings, because I turned that setting off and I forgot that it was off, and many of you pointed out that things are floating because that setting was off. So I did that really quickly, lasted like a split second there, but we're going to be spending most of our time today at Darwin's Den. This is a space that had previously been completed. Massive air quotes when saying completed that first time. But then I had uncompleted it because I was like, I don't like this, so I got rid of an entire, I basically got rid of it completely. And then we, if you'll remember, rebuilt half of it, and then the other half of it has kind of been sitting there in limbo, just waiting for us to come back to it. Today's the day. Really pleased with the end result. I think that it's a lot better now than it was with our first iteration, which is obviously always the direction you want to be headed, right? You want the newer iterations to be better than the older iterations, but sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you end up with something that's worse than where you started, right? That's definitely something that happens. I would love to know what y'all think about this iteration of Darwin's Den. Again, I think it's better than what we had before. I think it's a bit more in keeping with the vision I had for the space, the renewed vision, at least, I had for the space. And it definitely has like the right vibe to it, I guess, is the best way to put it. I'm looking for like better words for it, but it really is just like, it's got a much better feel to it. It feels a lot more organized, a lot more like planned. It has a sense of like wild to it. Not everything's perfectly like manicured, so to speak, but I didn't want it to be a mess. And previously, I think the previous iteration was definitely messy as opposed to wild. And then here we have something that feels like an organized space, but it's been allowed to grow freely and kind of take over its space a little bit. Not too much. It's not like we have vines everywhere, but we do have, you know, things kind of hanging over the edge of the planters and things like that. Anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about. Hopefully it makes sense. Really quickly, want to touch on this. I want to try and stay on top of this more often in the future. I am integrating lighting into the build right off the bat. This is something I said I was going to do at Elite Zoo South way back at the beginning. If I recall correctly, like one of the first, 3 or 4 or 5 episodes, I was like, oh yeah, and this time around, I'm going to stay on top of lighting and just make sure that lighting is a part of everything we build, and that way we'll never have to worry about lighting. That was a lie. But I'm trying to get back on that track. I'm trying to, sort of get back on, like, into the habit of doing that. I noticed right away as I was placing these, I was like, hang on a second, we'll probably want to light the flooring over here. Let's make that part of the plan right off the bat. I find, as much as I do want to do that, and I do want that to be my habit of like integrating lighting as I build spaces and things, I find not knowing with 100% certainty how a light is going to work or look makes me hesitant to commit to that. Because right now I'm putting these guys down because I'm fairly confident with how they're going to look and how they're going to light the space up, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if their angle is right, if the amount of the light that's exposed versus hidden inside the concrete is correct. I don't know if they're going to look too bright. I don't know if their color is right. Like, there's so many questions. And now I've just put down, 30 or 40 lights, and I don't even know if they're going to look right. Bit of a risk. But you know what? I've taken it. Here we are. Hopefully it works out. I'm sure it'll be fine. But that's just to give you some insight with regards to, my line of thinking and why I often hesitate to put lights down. Now, back over here, I wanted to do something fancier with the planters. I wanted to add a little bit of layering. I decided rather than going in and putting down a bunch of blocks and making a rather, squarish second layer, I would instead use these fountains. Ends up working quite nicely. I do cover up the water with the actual vegetation itself, so you can't even tell that it's a fountain. And again, just trying to find ways of using these pieces in ways that, again, maybe not their original intent, but they do the trick. And they save us a lot of time as well. I think that's another thing. I was touching on this last session with regards to my different approaches to different time lapses. I find a lot of the time with Elite Zoo South, I end up overcomplicating things when it's really not necessary to. Just because something is complicated doesn't mean it's good, right? And so I really want to check that as well and try to get back into a good rhythm there. But you can see, very easily now we have round planters at the second layer, and you'd never be able to tell that they're fountains. We've got some nice color separation going on. In fact, you can't even tell from the angle that we're likely going to be looking at this space more often than not. And even from a lower angle, I think you'd never be able to tell that they're just floating there. As far as what you can see, it feels nicely nestled in, and it all works nicely. So I need to like get back into that habit more often. I think I did a fair bit of it at Elite Zoo North, but I think close to the end of our time at Elite Zoo North, I was starting to overcomplicate things. And so as we dove into Elite Zoo South, I started on that note of having things being overly complicated. And now when I say complicated, I want to be clear. Saying I want things to be less complicated isn't me saying I want to experiment less, or I want to have, do less exciting stuff. We're still going to keep things interesting and exciting, but complexity, like I said earlier, complexity doesn't necessarily mean, goodness, right? Just because something is complicated doesn't mean it's good, whether that's visually or technically or what have you. I just want to find that sweet spot. I want to still push the game to its quote unquote, limits. I want to still push the game technically and visually as much as I can, come up with or think to, but I should be smarter about it. Think smart, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm actually really quite pleased with the vegetation and stuff over here, the color, the patterns and whatnot. We've got like the green base and then stripes of pink and then little like spots of purple. You can see it better from up on high. I like that. It's not overdone. It's not overstated. It's relatively simple, but like looking at it right now, even from these high angles, it's like, yeah, it looks pleasant, and I'm quite pleased with it. Now you'll notice me flip back and forth between Tortoise Tavern and Galapagos Grotto on the other side repeatedly, because I keep trying to figure out if I can't like do something to like up the ante with these name placements. So yeah, Tortoise Tavern, and you'll see like as a result of me looking back and forth, I do end up doing some more work in the space as well. So it's not like it's all for naught. I don't do a lot of reworking of the lettering, simply because I just don't have an idea yet. I like where they are. I like their size and all that kind of stuff, but it's like I do want to try something with them. I just don't know what quite yet. So we'll be back here later. That's a minor thing to fix up. I'm pretty pleased to say that Darwin's Den is more or less done as of today's time lapse. Again, is anything ever really done? Well, you know my answer to that question. But as far as like that's a statement always in regards to minor tweaks or adjustments. As far as the big picture thinking, I would say Darwin's Den as of this time lapse is finally completed. Unless y'all notice any glaring issues or problems, in which case we'll come back to fix those. But beyond that, yeah, I would say we've made good progress here, and we've been able to finish off another area of the zoo, an area that's actually quite tucked away, which, I mean, maybe is a little unfortunate that from up on high you won't be able to see all these details, but it's still, I don't know, it makes a difference to me at least. I imagine it makes a difference to y'all as well, knowing that this space is complete, whether we can see it from a distance or not. There's just that sense of completion here. On which note, I've been getting some feedback with regards to some things that I might want to do over at Seychelles Shore with regards to the underwater, the subaquatic plants, and adding some of that stuff. Again, even though we would not be able to see it, it's nice to know that it's there, so that if and when we catch a glimpse of it from a certain angle that we don't usually catch a glimpse of things, we can go, oh, hey, look, yeah, we thought this through. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it's at least some of you in the comments as well, so let me know. But yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with how this space is looking. I do struggle a little bit with this sort of end cap corner situation. That's another thing I might want to come back for later. I do sort of a temp solution that I was happy with at the end of the time lapse, and then immediately afterwards on review, I was kind of like, well, actually, am I really happy with this? I don't know. So again, like I said, that's what I mean when I say like nothing's ever really done. There's always stuff to come back for and tweak and push. But big picture thinking, we're definitely at that 95 to 99% where I think everything really always is, which is a problem. That's a me problem. I hope you all like what the space looks like, though. Again, it is very different from what we had before. I personally prefer it to what we had before, but again, like I always say, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Share them down below. But folks, that is today's time lapse. Darwin's Den has been completed. Nice to just check some of these boxes. Very excited for what comes next, whether it's a beauty pass or a lighting pass or what have you. I've got some plans, but that is, like I was saying, it for the time lapse. All right, folks, we are back from the time lapse, and I guess I was a little mistaken. I thought we'd be hopping back and forth between a couple of spots, but instead we stayed almost entirely focused around Darwin's Den over here. Finally, I'm like torn between saying finally able to call it done and not saying that. Y'all know how I am. Like we can always come back to a space, as many of you pointed out in the comments of the last session, as well as I was talking about how doing a time lapse for this feels so different from the DLC sandbox time lapses we did. But yeah, we can always come back. We can always make more additions and stuff. But I feel like at this point in time, I feel like we're very much able to call this done or next to done. You know, like done adjacent. There will be a couple of tweaks to make here and there as we notice a couple of things. And beyond that as well, I do want to do a proper lighting pass of the area as well. I did integrate some lighting in the work that we did today because there are some pieces of or some types of lighting that I have I think a decent understanding of how it's going to behave when the lighting kicks in. So I did integrate some of it into the time spent today, but in the future, I don't know, the next handful of episodes or so, we'll be back here while we're doing a lighting pass, because the lighting pass has to kind of be across the zoo. There is one more thing that I want to do before I sort of cap this off here, and that is place these pillars over here. One over here, please, and thank you. Just to get rid of those weird corners, and then one over here as well. Pretty pleased with how the space has turned out, actually. Again, I personally... shortly after our first draft of the area, I was very sort of displeased with it. I don't think it did the trick, but I feel like this works a lot better, and I hope you all will agree. I know some of you were concerned that Darwin's Den 2.0 wouldn't be as interesting or compelling to look at as Darwin's Den 1.0, but I think this is better, and I hope you all will agree. I mean, at this point in time, Darwin's Den 1.0 is almost a long lost memory since we've done. It's been quite some time since we've since we erased this left side, but quite pleased with this space now, and it's like little patterning and the colors we've got going on. Nothing too overly complicated, though. Of course, fiddling about with the parts is always complicated, and also using these fountain pieces over here to act as planters instead. Actually, you can't really make out the water as we're kind of like looking around and at a glance. You have to like really look at it to be like, oh, hang on a second, I think I see some water down there. So that works out nicely. It's a nice sort of quick way to make these planters, these rounded planters, rather than going in and putting down individual concrete blocks and whatnot. So it's all come together pretty nicely. And now these signs also have, supports. They actually feel like they're attached to something rather than just floating around, which is something we tackled at the beginning of this time lapse as well. Because again, as many of you pointed out, I mistakenly made all these paths without their support, or not the supports, but without the railing over here. So I actually missed a spot over here. Go ahead and fix that real quick. Where is my railing on elevated? Please and thank you. There we go. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, why are all these things floating? I don't remember this at all. But again, thank you all in the comments for pointing out what slipped past me. All right, so that's all good. I'm pretty pleased with that time lapse. Pretty pleased with the beauty passes we've done both today and last time as well. Also, just wanted to touch on the fact that I did put down some lights over here as well. Not exactly sure how these ones work, so I didn't want to overdo it. It looks like it'll be a flame up top, but I'm not sure how much of a radius they cover in light and things like that. So we'll see how this all looks when night comes. And also, I just thought I'd sort of up this as well, make it a bit more interesting rather than just this like weird blank empty space. One really big annoyance is that every time I click down here, this kapok tree gets selected instead. I don't know why. It's like I'm underneath it. Don't select it. It was making the time lapse a bit of a hassle, but yeah, I wanted to like fill in this space over here as well, and sort of use this to warm myself up for another little segment of our zoo. Which I will highlight in just a moment. There we go. I kind of like these little overhanging elements. It makes it feel a bit more natural, I think. Makes it feel like it's not been overly like manicured. It's been allowed to grow a little wild. I like that quite a bit. Now this maybe is a bit too much. That's another thing that's been really weird is like this new like level of detail element where it's like when you zoom in, things become more visible. It makes it a lot more awkward to find the optimal like placement. Like what's the middle ground between, okay, where am I going to be seeing this from more often than not? And is it the right amount of density at that level? Because like, you know, if I zoom away too far, yeah, okay, that still looks okay. All right, cool. But then as I zoom in, obviously those little pieces grow in, and I think this works. I think this works. I mean, I could nudge this in a little. Yeah, see, like this works great. I was like, oh, we can just nudge it in a little bit. And then I zoomed in, and it's like, oh god, we have to. That's like sticking out by a mile. Got to stick that, like, got to push that in a fair bit. There we go. There we go. There. That'll do the trick. You know what? That's okay. Moving on. Moving on. But yeah, pretty pleased with last session and this session's beauty passes. But as I was saying before the time lapse, there is quite a bit of management stuff for us to take care of. And actually, before I dive into that, I do just want to take a quick peek at the current state of this. Nice, 93%. We went from 90 when I booted the game up to 91 before the time lapse to now 93%. Fantastic. We're so close. We're so close with 2 days left at the time of recording, obviously. So that's exciting. Now, of the management things to tackle, the first thing I want to tackle actually is getting rid of these animal talks. Y'all have made it crystal clear that animal talks have not been like perfectly integrated. I guess we did go around closing them. I wonder if I should just remove them completely. Yeah, I did. I closed them all actually. I don't think deleting them versus closing them makes a difference. Hold on a second. Actually, let me check this as well. Nice. Glad I checked. Just had a feeling that people were being, horrendous. Where would education, I suppose? Ooh, hello. Right, we've never been over this. Yeah, okay, I did close everything. Yeah, y'all had pointed out that this has become a major problem for many of you. In fact, one of you went so far as to detail that, like, yeah, guests will walk, they'll be pulled in as if like there's a gravitational field. They'll be pulled in towards one of these talks, and then when the timer for carrying litter runs out, they'll just drop it on the floor. So it's just like, okay, well, that's obviously not good. It's also been suggested that I don't, even when they're working properly, I probably won't need this many animal talks in one area because of how they function. But you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm going to just leave these here for now. They're not on, so they shouldn't be affecting guest behavior. We should hopefully see this turn around. But we'll leave these over here because when they go about fixing and updating the animal talks integration, if this would work, I'd rather not have to place them all back down. All right, let's go ahead and unpause now, though, see how the guests behave under the new kind of circumstances. Habitat cleanliness is a disease risk. Let's go ahead and call a keeper in here. Where I always, whoops. Come on. Let me select you. There we go. I always go to the wrong spot. Oh, there we go. It's always literally right here. But for some reason, I just turn a blind eye to this section over here of call staff. I don't know why. Every time, though. It is a consistent thing. Every time. Vet research complete up over here. That's good. Looks like a lot of research. Oh, zebras, ringtail lemur, giraffes, and red-ruffed lemurs. How do we complete? Wow, that's a lot of research accomplished there. Good stuff. Not going to complain about that. Mechanics research is going on as well. Of course, that's for all the aquatic theme pieces. We'll keep it going. I mean, a lot of these things, maybe we finish the research for the sake of having research finished. Man, the baby giraffe is taller at least than the full-grown zebra. Oh, that looked so like uncomfortable. Taking a little nap, buddy. Crawling up into the fetal. Oh, okay. No, getting back up. It's like a slower method of standing, like camels do, almost. And not really, because the back doesn't go up as high. Interesting. You're having a little lie down? Oh, they're so cute. It is nice to spend some time with the animals every once in a while. But I need to spend some time tending to the other animals here because they are continuing to litter everywhere, I think. And got this problem over here as well. Okay, come on now. But I need to like get this dealt with once and for all. Problem is I cannot span the gap over here because of the path up top. If I get rid of the path, it might not allow me to reattach it the same way as it was attached previously. won't let me push this back by enough. Maybe I'll deal with that at some point. Maybe I'll deal with the path at some point when I feel like dealing with more pathing things. We done here? All right, let's go ahead and redo until I see terraforming here. There we go. Didn't want to lose some of our work from the time lapse and whatnot by mistake. Cool. Okay, so what many of you have suggested is it's probably about time that we added more staff quarters and whatnot. So, died right by the steps over here. Oh my god, are you both dead? Cool. Hold on a second. No, you're very much alive. You're still moving. You're also still moving. Oh, okay. So you're dying, but not dead yet. I wish the game wouldn't do that. Wish the game wouldn't do that. But hang on a second. We've got... I might need to bring some more llamas in. A little teleporting llama over there. I need to bring some more llamas in. This is a conversation we've had previously as well. The view is not that great. I think the view is not great because we don't have that many llamas. We have 8 animals in here. One female. Oh my god. 1 female to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 males. 6 males. One's a child though. Yeah. Okay. We need some more female llamas. Let's get to it. Zoo. Sorry. No. Animal. Hello. Oh, okay. That was fast. Very fast. Remedios is about to inbreed. Nope. 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 There we go. We're gonna have to actually release quite a few of these giant Galapagos tortoises out as well because they matured. I think they matured at the end of last session. I believe quite a few of them are really good in terms of genes. So let's go ahead and send you to the trade center. Marco. Manuel is the father. Get you off those contraceptives because we can have another set of babies now. Remedios. Could release you to the wild. 45 conservation credits. Yeah, sure. Nice to release to the wild. Arturo. Hang on, who's our female giant Galapagos tortoise here? Do we not have one? Did she pass away? Yes, she did. Elena's too young. We're not in a rush. Maybe we'll wait until the next batch of children become adults and then we'll get a new female. But Arturo and Marco can both be taken to the trade center as well, I think. Yeah. Now, hang on a second. What is your social need, though? Do you need a... No. 1 adult is enough for these guys. Okay, fair enough. So maybe we'll take a look if there's a good female giant Galapagos tortoise available alongside llamas as well. So let's see. Animal market. We want to see the giant Galapagos... Sorry, it's the Galapagos giant tortoise. I always get them flipped back and forth. That's on me. Oh, they're both males. That does not help me. That does not help my cause. 180 and 51. I mean, mine have much better genes than this. I could probably sell them for a decent price. So over to animal storage, maybe like 1,000 each or something. Again, I feel like they're worth a fair bit. We also have a lot of jaguars to trade out. My God, I should look into them too. All right, let's see. Oh, you know what? They're not worth all that much. Let's go with 250. I was like thinking like 1,000, but 250 is reasonable, I think. There we go. Good stuff. You as well. Yes. And Marco over here. I mean, this guy's good. This guy's good. Let's try and get you for 500. Let's see. Chances are minimal that this actually succeeds, but let's try it. Trade you out. Let's go. And actually, we do have all these jaguars that I should probably take a look at trading out, right? Let's see. We're not making a whole trade session out of this, but I do want to empty out the animal storage a little bit. Jaguars, we're looking at 700s, 1800s, 1600s. Okay. So 15 to 1800. Sub 2K, over 15. Looks like where we'll be sitting. All right, cool. Over to animal storage. Over to our own jaguars. Go ahead and trade you for, let's say, 1,200. I think that's a reasonable price. Got you. Could trade you for, again, just because he's melanistic, could probably go for a little bit higher. So let's go ahead and trade you for 1,500. All right. I've got these A double stars and A stars and stuff. Man, we get so many good. They're so hard to trade out when they're so good, you know? So hard to trade out. We've got an A double star. So why keep an A star? because I have a very mathematical approach to labeling these animals, right? Let's go ahead and trade you out for, I'm going to go ahead and say for 1,800. You know, I'm going to go ahead and say for 2K. These are really good stats. These are fantastic stats. And she's melanistic. I think it's fair. We'll see. We'll see if we get any sales. Got another A-star down here. Trade you out for 1,800 maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Go 1,800. Just trying to stay on top of things over here because we I want to say we, I mean I let it get a little too packed. Komodo dragons, that's fine. Because Komodo dragons we might be putting into Elitsu South as well, right? Because of their oceanic belongings, I suppose is the way to put it. Now, I do need to check on our tapirs as well, because I believe we had one that became an adult last session. They haven't started fighting yet, but any moment now. Yeah. You. Ooh, good stats. Really good stats. Might be worth trading. Go ahead and send you to Trade Center, and let's go ahead and check out the trade right now. Baird's tapirs, right? There we go. Mailed. Oh my god, are you kidding, man? 2,900. Like this is okay. This is ridiculous pricing. Obviously, silver rated 4,200. That's just not going to fly. Gold rated 2,300. Right down to 1K. I feel like we can go up to like the 2Ks. I feel like 2K is not entirely unreasonable. I feel like 2K is not entirely unreasonable. Trade you out. It says 42. It's fine. Let's try it. Let's try it. Looks like we've actually made some trades already. Now we do have Ayahuasca over here. I think she's safe to mate with. No, she's not safe to mate with Yaotol. She's not safe to mate with either of these. But she would be a good addition to the zoo. I think we'll have to get a different male though. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Cross that bridge when we get there. Yaotol. Not the best. Not the best. And who's our female here? Etsy. Pregnant now as well. She's amazing. She's consistently giving us amazing babies. Oh, so cute. Why are you celebrating? Why is this hovering? Down, you. Strange cursed magic. Ooh, red ruffed lemur is expecting offspring. Have we seen? Oh, is that? Yes, it is. Tiana over here. Gold rated, but look at these stats, eh? Gold rated, but these stats, yikes. That tells you a story, doesn't it? Now, they haven't been hungry for a while. Looks like we've had even more jaguar babies. There's just so many babies. So many babies. Okay, they're distracting me, though, from the task of putting down more staff, like rest areas, like staff rooms and keeper huts. Again, as I was saying, I think I got interrupted as I was saying it, but many of you pointed out that I might need more. Especially because animals have started to, yeah, we've been getting a lot of this. Animals are going hungry, things like that. So there's a lot going on. If I take a look at staff happiness, no. Gotta be buildings. Yeah, I guess. We've got staff room and keeper hut over here. Staff rooms and keeper huts over here, though they're not properly connected to this area. But we do have a staff room and a keeper hut over here as well. Like that, I feel like that area is covered nicely. We're okay over there. Got the staff room and keeper hut over here to take care of this area. Right? Why did you... Problem here. Just no vendor over here. Yeah, no vendor. That's okay. Actually, hold on a second. Yeah, okay, no vendor. I wasn't 100% sure if I was looking at the right thing. Say these guys should be okay for the llamas. Got all these buildings back here as well. Could put another one down over here. Like, I wonder... Like, this area is sometimes neglected. But we've got, like, this couldn't be closer, you know? Like, I could put it right on top of these guys. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I feel like... Geez. Because even over here, right? Like, from this keeper hut and staff room... They're able to pop out this way, and they end up smack dab in the middle of this, right? And they can head towards the Seychelles shore. They can also go up this way instead, the other way. And they're right by Gorilla Grove over there. I mean, I guess this is kind of far to travel. Serious injury discovered. Warthogs over here. Headed to the vet. All right, good stuff, good stuff. Actually, I just realized that, man, there's so much going on. I just realized I was going to get more female llamas, and then I got completely distracted. And the only reason I remembered I need more female llamas is because I also remembered I need more female Colombian white-faced capuchin. Let's get this done here. Let's get this done. Any species. Flip to the llamas. Where are you? Llamas. There we go. Female llamas, only one available. Are you kidding me? Come on. Why? I don't understand, like, because they will often, like, Frontier Zoo is from the developers. They'll often, like, add animals that are not readily available in the market. They need to do more of that, it seems, because every once in a while we get in situations like this. And actually, I wouldn't say every once in a while. It's been more often than I would say is reasonable that we've been in a position where we're looking for an animal, and we've just not. They're just not available. They're just not available. There's no variety. I mean, because technically a female llama was available there, but like one. There's no. That's not a market, you know. I've only got one option. But yeah, the Colombian white-faced capuchin we need as well, because these guys are. What's the ratio looking like? 3 females, 3 males. Okay, so I guess not terrible. They're just not having any babies. That's though. One is infertile. Okay, these ladies are all okay. Matter of them getting to work, I guess. Let's take a look at their social needs, though. Oh, you know what? We should get some more adults. They don't have enough adults. Probably making them at least a little upset. Animal storage, animal trade. Over to the Colombian white-faced capuchin monkey. Wow. Seriously? None available? Okay, there we go. All dollars, though. All right, let's go ahead and adopt you and you. And we can go on to the zoo animals. We should be able to flip to them here. No. We'll be able to flip to them here. Sorry. Storage and the Colombian whiteface. There we go. I cannot select multiples. Okay, fair enough. I could have sworn I'm missing something, but I'm not gonna think about it now. I'd rather make progress now and figure out what I was looking for, because I know there's somewhere now where you can move multiple animals at a time. But whatever it is, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Move both you in here. Okay, good stuff. I actually want to check trade history as well. Looks like our Baird's tape here, as well as our Galapagos giant tortoises have been sold. Maybe I should have priced them higher, actually. Maybe I should have priced them much higher. They sold instantaneously there, but it's okay. I don't mind being a little bit under. Quarantine pass for our llama here. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring you to the zoo proper here. Llama Lane. We've got a lot of alliterations, actually. Got a lot of alliterations, and some of the upcoming names as well are alliterations too. Okay. Back to trying to figure this out. There's this I want to figure out. I also want to figure this out. Education stuff that we haven't looked at. Guest education rating is pretty high. Research rating. Education research complete. How many education bonuses have been researched and collected? Vets doing advanced research. The number of vets actively doing advanced research out of the total number of vets in the zoo. None. You know what? I should probably change that. Got a lot of vets sitting around right now. Let's go ahead and do some advanced research. Becky Jones, let's get you on the West African lion. Mike and something else. Let's get you on the ring-tailed lemur. What about, because again, I do still want some going around and checking on the animals and making sure they're doing okay. Let's go ahead and get, what? Let's get Lucy Meg on the giraffes, and let's see how that affects our education thing here. All right, okay, cool. Not bad. Guests have learned the most about the saltwater crocodile. Influence per item type. I think this is pretty cool. Again, like I've been saying repeatedly about this latest update, I like that there's more time of the visit using them as 0%, species educated about a 0, but we've sold 76 audio guides. That's weird. I like seeing these kinds of details. It's pretty nifty. I find it very interesting. I find it very intriguing to see this kind of information be presented, to see what's being tracked. I love this stuff. It's a management game after all. And so for me, this kind of stuff really makes really adds another dimension to that aspect of the game. Not just adding new building pieces and new animals, but also like how the existing animals are treated or interact with guests reached in the last 12 months. Like this stuff is cool. This stuff is interesting. Like we can actually see, obviously, the saltwater crocs and the llamas and the eastern brown snakes and the kangaroos are getting most of our traffic, especially the saltwater crocs, because no matter where you're going, you're probably going to see the saltwater crocs. You can see our running costs over here, education bonuses. Where do those education bonuses come from? / why are they lacking in some cases? Running costs, I assume, is food and the cost of like all the heating and cooling and stuff. Very cool, very cool. Status is not labeled for anybody though, so I wonder what that's about. Maybe if like one's empty or something. Oh, there we go. Oh, all the little pieces. Okay, cool. We can name them and everything over here as well. I like this a lot. Conservation, meanwhile, we've got our conservation information boards. Oh, look at that. Guests reached. We can see some are definitely failing at their job because they can't be read, I guess. And we can see some are doing exceptionally well. This one's doing fantastically. Very cool. I love this. Oh, this one's doing great too. Not powered, this one. All right. Well, might want to look into that. Went all the way out over here. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably the solar panel is died nearby. Fair enough. Very cool. I like this a lot. And then the talks, of course, but unfortunately, they are currently non-operational. Oh, neat. That's, I'm glad I checked that. There have been so many new additions with this new DLC / update. I kind of wish I checked those things out earlier, but I'm glad we did look at them today. It's just more information. It's just more stuff to look at and more ways to find how we are, either succeeding or missing the mark, etc. I love that kind of stuff. All right, over to Kusiwasi. Hopefully we'll have some more babies. Honestly, it's been a long time. Let's check again for llamas, actually. You can see, by the way, immediately the guests are all significantly happier than they were the end of the last session. Like, immediately. Llamas, where you at? There we go. Expensive llamas. They're all males as well, so I'm glad I didn't, with a gut instinct, go ahead and pick one up. they're all expensive. That's just not what we need right now. I don't want to. It's tough because, like, well, first of all, we need females, so that makes a decision easy. But if they were expensive, would I pick them up or would I not? That's the other question. Is like, well, okay, how important are they versus some of the new animals that I want to be adding soon, right? Like, it's not a super easy call. Things are looking pretty good. I do need to add, like I was saying, the new keeper huts and stuff, but it's two things that we need to do. Oh, look at that. They're decently sized crowds. I feel like I haven't seen crowds this big in a while over here. Oh, and I did want to check these lights. Yeah. What I figured, they'd be on throughout the day. Have we not had nightfall since the time lapse? I guess not. But yeah, I need to figure out, well, two things. One is more staff rooms and like vet clinics and all that stuff, like trade centers, all that stuff. Not just their placement, but I also need to figure out the work zones, because these work zones are clearly not working optimally. I think I need to split them up into smaller pieces. I just need to figure out what they are, because if we end up with too many work zones, then it's just so micromanagey. It gets kind of messy. I would say, like, that's not ideal either. So I think actually I was all gung-ho about getting all that going, but I realized that there's a bit more planning required for that on my part. So I think I have to mull over that a bit more, but I think this is actually what we're going to call today's session. Got a fair bit done, a little bit of animal management, which I think was absolutely necessary. Just checking in on the lot. Dead or sleeping? It's like a game you could play. Okay, sleeping. Sleeping, fair enough. But yeah, we got a fair bit of management done, got some llama work done, got some monkey business done. And of course, the beauty pass, I think, was well worth the end result. I was hoping to catch this at night today, but I suppose not. I will catch it when we're doing our our lighting pass, which will be very soon. And then shortly thereafter, we will be adding our next animal as well. Will it be an Australian animal? Will it be one from the aquatic DLC pack? Will it be an African animal? Who knows? But there is still, work to be done over here, and especially over here as well before we move on. Don't worry. I see your calls for attention for the warthogs. They have not been forgotten. They have not been neglected. I think about them every day, every night before I go to sleep. But for now, we're going to call it a session here, folks. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, it makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel, what I do more or less of, and how I go about doing it. Again, I do read through all the comments, so if you have any requests, suggestions, opinions, thoughts, feelings, whatever it might be, leave it down below. I will see it, I will read it, and I will respond to it either in written format or, in the next episode when I'm recording. And there's, when we're tackling stuff, I take all of that feedback and all your thought processes into account as well. It's why my mind is very much focused on this whole staff conversation. I mean, we've taken care of guest happiness. I guess that is, yes, because of the animal talks not working properly, as you also rightfully pointed out. But beyond that as well, I mean, actually, if I think about it, we've been fine this entire session, and I was kind of keeping an eye out for it. So maybe we are actually okay, and something else was causing issues. Again, one session does not make a pattern, but we didn't see any hungry animals this time. What did we see? We saw animal habitat cleanliness for the llamas, but it was taken care of pretty much immediately. I don't know. We'll think about it, folks. Hope you had a good time. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.